My dear child, come and sit with me for a moment. What you are about to receive is not a small gift. It is not something loud or shiny just to look nice. It is something that works. It is something that carries weight, purpose, and power. What happened to you was never just about your own life. It was part of something much bigger. You were being shaped to bring peace into places where other people only find fear, where others panic when trouble comes. You will speak calm words and the trouble will listen. Where others run from confusion, you will walk in steady and bring order. You earned this new strength during your darkest hours. In the moments when everything around you felt like thunder and your peace was struck like lightning, you still managed to light a small candle of hope. I watched you cry and still find a way to worship. I watched you help other people hold on to faith, even while your own hands were shaking. That is what makes someone ready to carry something important. Not someone who never feels afraid, but someone who keeps going even when their knees are weak. Because of this, hard situations will start to recognize you. Not because you are loud, but because you have proven yourself through real experience. You went through the hardest winds of your life, and you did not turn angry at the sky. So now you are given the ability to change the feeling in a room, not just for yourself, but for the people around you too. When you pray, tight situations will loosen. When you stand for someone, walls that were blocking them will come down. When you speak with confidence, confusion will lose its grip on people's minds. This is not about ego. This is not about personal gain. This is about doing meaningful work for the good of others. You are being trusted to bring calm into chaos, to bring peace where there was panic, and to bring light into places that used to feel dark. And this new responsibility fits you perfectly, because it was shaped inside the very storms that once tried to break you down. So stand tall now, my child. Let this new weight rest on your shoulders with respect, not fear. Do not be scared of how heavy it feels. You were built for exactly this. The hard days trained you. The pain prepared you. And now you carry something powerful enough to calm even the roughest situations. You have earned this because you handled hard things with patience. And the next difficulty you face will not be able to stand against you. Not because you are the toughest person alive, but because you now carry something greater than just your own strength. You believed that chapter of your life was finished. But really, I was only just getting started. You mourned something that ended, without realizing that something new and invisible was already being planted. Let's go back to that season, the one that broke your heart, the one you thought marked the end of your story. I remember how deeply your heart ached. I remember your mind struggling to make sense of the silence. I remember how painful it felt when that door closed so suddenly and without warning. You looked at that closed door and thought, this must be where everything stops. You felt hollow, like nothing new could ever grow from that empty place again. But my child, if only you knew what was quietly happening underneath all that sadness. When one part of your story ended, you assumed nothing more was being written. But the truth is, I never stopped writing. While you were crying, something was being carefully put together behind the scenes. While you stood in the middle of what felt like ruins, something was already being rebuilt. What looked like a loss on the surface was actually the start of new life underneath. You grieved relationships that faded away. You grieved chances that never opened up. You cried over seasons that seemed to wither and fall apart. But hear this clearly now. Not a single tear was wasted. Not one goodbye happened without reason. You were not stripped of your happiness for no purpose. Something deeper was quietly being built inside you. You could not see the roots forming in your heart, but they were growing stronger every day. You could not feel the fruit slowly taking shape in the silence, But every part of it was being carefully cared for. Things were removed from your life, not because they had no value, but because their job was already complete. You thought it was the end, but I was only beginning something new. I was protecting what was growing inside you so it wouldn't be damaged by people who didn't understand its worth. That's why I allowed certain people to walk away. That's why I allowed that chapter to close, so a new one could begin, one that only I could write for you. My child, a single act of kindness can help God's message reach someone who needs hope today. If you feel blessed by this channel, you can stand with us through the PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for helping us spread God's love one soul at a time. Now, my child, open your eyes and notice something. The first small signs of that hidden growth are already pushing up through the ground. They are breaking through the soil of your sadness. Fruit is starting to form, and a sweet new feeling is coming from the very place you thought had died completely. Can you feel it? The atmosphere around you has already started to shift. There is a different feeling in the air now. The ground beneath your feet is filled with new purpose. The roots that were growing quietly are now reaching upward toward the light. And my child, what grows this time will be different from before. It will be stronger, sweeter, and more meaningful. It won't come from struggling or forcing things to happen. It will come from simply trusting and letting go. What ended was only making room for something that will last much longer. And you are about to enjoy the good things that came out of your pain. So, stop grieving what has already been turned into something beautiful. Let the sad ending become your story of strength. Let the broken place become the beginning of something new. You thought it was over, but really, I was starting the part of your life that will shine the brightest. And this time, my child, you won't just watch new beginnings happen to other people. You will live it yourself. Before I go further, if this message is speaking to your heart right now, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. There are so many more messages like this one waiting for you. And staying connected means you won't miss the next word meant just for you. I watched you stay when you had every reason to walk away. And now I am unlocking blessings that are only given to those who remain faithful. You don't even realize how many chances you had to leave and didn't take them. How many times you could have given up, but chose not to. How many nights your heart felt tired and your mind begged for relief. And still, you stayed. You stayed when things hurt. You stayed when everything went quiet. You stayed when the pressure felt heavy all around you. You stayed even when temptation knocked at your door. You stayed even when others around you walked out. And don't think for a second that I missed any of it. I was right there next to you through it all, holding you steady when your faith felt fragile, whispering strength into your spirit when you couldn't see what was coming next. You didn't stay because you had to. You didn't stay out of fear. You stayed because something inside you held on to me like a lifeline. And now I want to tell you something powerful. I am unlocking blessings that only people who stay loyal can carry. Loyalty isn't only about staying in one place. It's about staying connected to me, even when confusion tries to pull you in different directions. And you did exactly that. You stayed even when everything around you said to leave. You held on even when your emotions told you to give up. You chose to keep your commitment, even when it would have been easier to walk away. That kind of faithfulness matters. It moves something in heaven. It gets noticed. People who stay loyal through hard times are rare, and that kind of loyalty is honored deeply. You passed this test, not by being perfect, but by simply staying present through it all. You remained connected to me even when everything around you was shaking. And now, I respond the way only I can. This is not an ordinary blessing. This isn't something handed out to everyone equally. It is reserved for people who waited even when the answer seemed to be taking forever. For people who kept believing even when breakthrough felt delayed. For people who kept giving thanks even with empty hands. You qualify for this, not because you never made a mistake, but because you never gave up your loyalty. And now I will honor you in the open for what you did quietly, when no one was watching. I will pour out blessings that won't make sense to people who gave up too soon. I will give you clarity that will confuse people who abandoned their journey, because loyalty is a language, and you speak it fluently. So lift your eyes up now. The blessing is already moving toward you. Everything has already been set in motion, and doors that seem permanently shut are being prepared to open in your direction. Not because you were popular, and not because you did everything perfectly, but simply because you stayed. And people who stay loyal always end up receiving what is meant for the faithful. You didn't need everyone else's approval to know your worth. And because you let your true self be shaped quietly, I am now going to reveal you openly. My child, let me take you back for a moment to those seasons where you felt completely invisible. When the attention faded and silence felt overwhelming, while others were surrounded by crowds, you were quietly building courage. While others chased attention, you sat calmly, learning patience. You wondered if being unnoticed meant you were forgotten. You questioned if your moment had already passed you by. But listen carefully now. I wasn't holding you back from being seen. I was building your true identity in a quiet place where noise couldn't confuse it. That quiet season wasn't punishment. It was protection. I kept you hidden, not because you weren't valuable, but because you were becoming too precious to be misunderstood by people who wouldn't have known how to handle you properly. You didn't chase attention. You chased a deeper connection instead. You didn't try to promote yourself. You focused on becoming ready. In a world obsessed with performing for others, you chose to simply be present and honest. You let your identity be shaped not by likes or approval, but by quiet moments of truth. And that, my child, is exactly why I can trust you with visibility now. You are no longer someone who needs constant praise to feel valuable. You have become someone who is ready to carry real responsibility. And the people I choose to lift up don't need to be seen all the time. They just need to be ready when it's time to be sent. You allowed yourself to be shaped quietly. You allowed correction even without an audience. You let go of the need to be famous. And now I will make sure your name is known in places you haven't even been to yet. Can you feel the shift happening? The atmosphere around you is already starting to respond. Doors are opening that have no clear explanation. People are speaking your name in a good way, even when you're not in the room. Opportunities, connections, and support are lining up in ways you didn't plan or force. Why is this happening? Because you passed a hidden test. The test of staying true to yourself, even when nobody was clapping for you. The test of not becoming obsessed with your own ambition. You respected the quiet season, so now I will honor you publicly. This isn't about becoming famous. This is about becoming fulfilled. I'm not putting you in the spotlight so people admire you. I'm putting you there because it's part of your victory. This isn't random attention, it's meaningful recognition. There's a difference. The world tends to notice the loudest people. But real recognition comes to those who stayed faithful, even in the slow and quiet moments of surrender. And now I will reveal you with joy. I present you not as someone shaped by trends, but as someone shaped by real commitment. I will open doors you never even tried to knock on. I will place you in front of people who need exactly what you have to offer, not because of how well you speak, but because of your consistency and honesty. You didn't build this on your own. You were shaped through quiet moments that no one else witnessed. And now the world is about to see what happens when someone chooses quiet growth over quick attention. So take a deep breath, my child. Not out of worry, but out of amazement. Because what's coming isn't sudden luck. It is something you truly earned, and there's real joy in watching it unfold. They overlooked you, but I never did. And now I will honor you in the very places where you once felt unseen. Do you remember what it felt like to be in a room, but not really included in the conversation? To give your best effort, to care deeply, and still feel unnoticed. People walked past what you offered. They accepted your help, but never checked in on how you were really doing. You waited for someone to notice you, to say that you matter, that you belong, that what you bring has value. But instead, there was mostly silence. And in that silence, negative thoughts crept in, telling you that you weren't enough, that you were replaceable, that you didn't matter. But my child, I need you to understand something important. I was watching the entire time. When people overlooked your effort, I paid closer attention to your heart. When people underestimated you, I began building your reputation in ways you couldn't yet see. When people dismissed you, I was preparing something meaningful for your future. I allowed you to feel unseen, not to hurt you, but to help you understand your true worth. I wanted your confidence to come from something deeper than other people's opinions. I let you feel that discomfort so you could learn to feel secure, just from knowing your own value. And how you responded to that quiet pain says a lot about your character. You didn't become bitter. You didn't seek revenge. You didn't compromise who you are just to get attention. You stayed consistent. You kept showing up. You kept giving even when no one said thank you. That kind of quiet strength matters. It moved something deep. You didn't beg to be noticed. You simply stayed true to yourself. And now I'm ready to reveal what I've been preparing quietly all along. A change so clear that even the people who once doubted you will be amazed. The tables are turning, and this change is happening in a good way. When I turn things around, I don't just shuffle things randomly. I restore what was lost. I will place you in situations where you once felt small, not to make anyone else feel bad, but to show what was true about you all along. This isn't about revenge. This is about setting things right in a quiet, respectful way. I never forget the people who stayed faithful when no one else was watching. You proved yourself quietly, so now your reward will be shown openly. The same rooms that once ignored you will now want to hear what you have to say. The same people who once dismissed you will now come looking for your advice. Not because you forced it, but because it was meant to happen this way. So hold your head high, not out of pride, but out of confidence in what's coming. People who once looked past you will now pause and take notice, not because you changed who you are, but because your true self is finally being revealed. Dear child, every video on this channel is created with love, faith, and dedication to sharing God's Word. If these messages inspire and encourage you, you can support our mission through PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. Thank you for being part of this journey. Beloved, you were never truly invisible. You were always important. I never overlooked you, even when it felt that way. And now, what was once hidden will be honored, not as some kind of trophy, but as proof of what happens when someone chooses to stay true instead of chasing attention. This is a season of being recognized in a real and meaningful way, and this moment belongs to you. You've outgrown parts of your old life, and the reason things have felt tight and uncomfortable lately is because you are growing into something new. My child, let me explain that tension you've been feeling, that strange tightness inside, the way familiar places suddenly feel unfamiliar, the way conversations that used to feel comfortable now feel shallow. You've probably asked yourself, why does this feel too small now? Why can't I fit into this space anymore? Let me explain. You've outgrown who you used to be. The version of yourself that used to fit in certain situations can no longer hold everything you're becoming. You're growing spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. You're expanding, and your old way of living can't contain what's ahead for you. What used to feel comfortable now feels restrictive. And that's not because something is wrong with you. It's because something new is being formed inside you. This isn't about rebellion. It's about growth. You're not being disloyal to your past. You're simply developing into something more. Old boundaries are being pushed because new growth needs new space. You can't carry new purpose while still wearing old habits and old mindsets. I understand that it feels tight right now. I understand that everything feels like it's pressing in at once. But that pressure isn't a punishment, it's preparation. You are full of something meaningful, and just like someone getting ready to bring new life into the world, this discomfort is proof that something good is on its way. The stretching you're feeling is a sign, not a warning. I am not worried about the messiness of this growth. I'm guiding it every step of the way. I'm overseeing every shift, every change, every new challenge along the way. You are not falling apart. You are transforming into someone capable of carrying more responsibility and purpose than before. And yes, my child, this is why certain relationships have felt strained lately. This is why old routines don't feel right anymore. This is why your spirit feels restless in places that used to feel like home. That's because home is changing for you. Not because your past was bad, but because it served its purpose for a certain time. You needed that season back then. It protected you, supported you, and helped shape who you are. But now, you've grown beyond it, and staying stuck in that same shape would mean holding yourself back. And you weren't meant to stay small. You weren't created for a limited life. You are being called toward bigger opportunities that require room to grow, toward paths that need more space than before. I know it won't always make sense to other people. They might say you've changed, and you have, but not because you wanted to leave them behind. It's because you can no longer fit into spaces too small for who you're becoming. So here's what I want you to know. I am preparing a new environment for you. New relationships, a new rhythm, a new level of understanding that matches everything that's been building inside you. Something that won't hold you back when new opportunities come. Something that supports your growth instead of resisting it. I'm aligning everything for your next steps, and the situations that once felt tight will soon feel like launching points instead. The pressure will turn into freedom, and the struggle will lead to real strength. You are not being pushed away. You are being repositioned for something better. You're not losing anything. You're stepping into exactly what I always had planned for you. So take a deep breath. This tightness won't last forever. It's simply part of your transition. You've outgrown your old life, and that is actually a really good sign. And my child, what's coming next will fit you perfectly. You're not just walking into your own purpose. You're becoming someone that others will look to for guidance on their own journey. So keep going, and let your story become an example for someone else who needs hope right now. Because there are people out there quietly praying for a sign, waiting to hear something that reminds them not to give up. You've probably looked around and said, I believe you, but why does it still feel like I'm waiting? You've watched other people reach their moments, doors opening for them, opportunities showing up, blessings appearing right on time. And even though you were genuinely happy for them, deep inside a small voice may have asked, but when will it be my turn? And my child, I've heard every quiet question you've asked. I've noticed every tear you tried to hide behind a brave smile. You haven't been forgotten. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't been passed over. What you're carrying inside you isn't lost. It's simply being held until the perfect time. I don't just hand out promises randomly. I take care of them carefully. I don't just speak about your future. I develop it step by step. And while it might feel like time is moving too slowly, everything is actually being prepared with precision. What feels late to you is actually right on time from a bigger perspective. I will not release something into your life before it's fully ready. I won't let you walk into something you're not yet prepared for. I won't allow your future to arrive incomplete or unprepared. So I've kept certain things hidden, not to hold you back, but to strengthen what you're carrying, to make sure it lasts, and not just appears for a moment. You weren't just meant to have one good moment. You were created to build something lasting, and that takes time to develop properly. Think about how difficult it must have been for someone to carry something important for months without fully understanding it, misunderstood by people around them, unseen by most, but deeply known and supported quietly the whole time. You are a lot like that. You've been carrying something meaningful, and like anyone who carries something important, that responsibility might have felt isolating at times. People around you may not have fully understood what you were going through, but I saw your quiet strength through it all. I watched you hold on to what I placed inside you without giving up on it. And just as support and strength were given during that kind of waiting, I have surrounded you with everything you needed to protect what you're carrying, even protecting it from your own impatience. Not to frustrate you, but to keep it pure and strong. Because what you're holding on to, this dream, this goal, this breakthrough, isn't ordinary. It's meaningful and valuable. Now listen closely, because this moment matters. The waiting is coming to an end. The quiet season of preparation is turning into a season of results. But my child, it won't happen slowly and quietly this time. It will happen suddenly and powerfully. Because what's been building for so long needs to be revealed with real impact. You won't miss this moment. You won't be late for it. In fact, you'll arrive exactly when you're supposed to, at a time that couldn't have happened any earlier. Everything is being lined up perfectly for you. Doors are being prepared to open right when you need them to. And the very thing that once felt so far away will suddenly feel close and real. So don't be upset about the waiting. Don't resent how long it took. Every moment of that waiting had a purpose behind it. Every difficult moment mattered. I haven't forgotten your effort. I haven't ignored how hard you worked for this. And I definitely haven't overlooked your patience and trust. What I promised, I will deliver. What I said would happen will happen. And when it finally arrives, it will be so clear, so undeniable, that you'll know without a doubt that this was meant to be. That's what's happening. That's what's always been happening quietly behind the scenes. So rest easy now, my child. The promise was never taken away from you. It was simply waiting for the right time. You thought the hard times were just struggle, but really, they were training you. And now you don't just carry strength, you carry real authority. Let's look back at those difficult seasons. Not to bring up painful memories, but to understand what was really happening during that time. Do you remember the sleepless nights? The challenges that kept coming no matter how hard you tried? The way you would get back up only to face another setback? You probably asked, why does this keep happening? And your frustration was heard. But what you didn't realize then, what's only becoming clear now, is that those challenges weren't just random attacks. They were building something valuable inside you. My child, we are committed to spreading hope, faith, and the message of Jesus Christ to people around the world. If you would like to help us continue this work, please visit PayPal links below. Your kindness means more than words can express. Beloved, you weren't being tested to see if you'd fail. You were being prepared to succeed. Those hard seasons weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to develop you. Sometimes the most difficult situations end up creating the strongest people, teaching patience, wisdom, and resilience that couldn't be gained any other way. While it may have felt like everything was working against you, in reality, you were being shaped and strengthened. Every difficult moment taught you something. Every setback sharpened your understanding. Every disappointment taught you to depend on your own inner strength and trust in something greater than yourself. You didn't just survive those hard times. You came out of them stronger, with real tools and lessons you didn't have before. You don't move through life the same way you used to, uncertain, hesitant, always looking for someone else to reassure you. Now you move with a clear sense of purpose. You walk like someone who has been through real challenges and came out stronger on the other side. You no longer just react to difficulty. You know how to handle it with confidence. And that's exactly why those challenges felt so intense, because your future potential was bigger than the obstacles you were facing. Sometimes life tests us before we even realize what we're capable of, but you didn't give up. Yes, you struggled. Yes, you had moments of doubt, but you never fully gave up on yourself. And that persistence, that refusal to quit no matter how hard things got, is what truly shaped you. That's why you're being lifted to a new level now. No longer just someone who carries potential, but someone who carries real, proven strength. And that kind of strength changes situations, relationships, and even entire environments around you. It's the kind of strength that brings calm to chaos and creates stability where there was once confusion. I'm encouraging you to walk confidently in this next chapter. Don't hold back. Don't second-guess yourself. You've already proven that you can handle challenges and come out stronger. You were tested through real conflict, and now you have real experience to show for it. People will start to notice your confidence. Your presence will start to influence situations in a positive way. You're not in training anymore. You're ready for what's next. Go take hold of the opportunities ahead of you. Speak with confidence. Share what you've learned. This isn't just a small win. This is a real turning point in your life. You didn't just gain confidence to make yourself feel good. You gained the ability to genuinely help and guide others. Your consistency during the ordinary, unnoticed days is what's qualifying you for something extraordinary now. Let's talk about those days that no one else saw, the days that felt plain, repetitive, and unremarkable. The days when you woke up, chose to keep believing, and kept moving forward, even when nothing seemed to be changing. Do you remember how repetitive and unexciting it all felt? Continuing to hope when there were no clear answers yet, showing up consistently even when no one was paying attention, being kind and supportive even when it wasn't returned, doing the right thing even when nobody noticed or acknowledged it. You probably thought those days didn't really matter. But my child, those were actually some of the most important days of your life, because that's where real character is built. True growth doesn't only happen during big, dramatic moments, it also happens in the quiet, everyday choices no one else sees. Can you stay consistent when it's quiet? Can you stay kind when no one's watching? Can you remain faithful with small things, even when there's no guarantee of anything bigger? You answered those questions, not through big speeches, but through your everyday actions, one small decision after another, even while everyone else seemed distracted by more exciting things. You kept your focus and stayed consistent, and every single one of those moments mattered. I noticed how you honored your values, even when it cost you something. How you resisted giving up. How you chose to do what was right, even without recognition. And now, it's time for things to shift in your favor. Not because you demanded it, but because you remained consistent, even when things felt boring or unimportant. You weren't chasing attention. And now good things are naturally coming your way. What you built quietly during those unnoticed days has become the foundation for something much bigger now. The habits you developed in private have created real opportunities for growth and success. You earned this next level not by forcing it, but by simply staying true to your values. And that's why the growth that's coming will be undeniable, because it won't look like luck or ambition. It will look like something that was clearly meant to happen. You're not rising because of trends or attention. You're rising because of real, consistent effort. And no one will be able to take credit for what's about to unfold in your life. This is something you truly earned, and it's only the beginning. Get ready for meaningful, lasting change, not just small temporary wins, but real, sustained progress. You'll see positive results from your efforts. Your words will start to carry more weight and impact. You'll walk into new situations, and people will notice a shift in the way you carry yourself. Why? Because you built strong habits during the quiet, unnoticed moments. You stayed consistent in the ordinary, and now you're stepping into something extraordinary. This is real, meaningful progress, and it's only just getting started. You've passed tests that no one even realized you were taking, and now good things are coming your way that will be hard to fully explain. My child, do you understand how much you've actually gone through? You've walked through seasons that looked ordinary from the outside, but were actually incredibly challenging on the inside. You faced quiet battles, internal struggles, tests of honesty, patience, and emotional strength. And here's something important that many people missed. While others were celebrating obvious wins, you were quietly passing much harder, less visible tests. You went through moments that no one clapped for, and you still stayed strong. You didn't just believe in yourself when things were going well. You trusted the process, even when everything felt uncertain and confusing. Even when no one else could see the struggle you were facing internally, it mattered, and it was seen. I was aware of everything you went through, even the parts you never talked about. And my child, I want to say this clearly now. You passed. You passed the test of staying honest, even when no one was watching. You passed the test of maintaining your integrity in private. You passed the test of staying consistent through long, difficult seasons. You didn't just avoid failure, you grew stronger through the process. And every choice you made mattered. The self-control you practiced, the negativity you chose to walk away from, the moments you chose to do the right thing, even when it would have been easier not to, the quiet acts of kindness you did without expecting recognition, the moments of faith you held onto even when your heart felt heavy. All of it mattered, and it was all noticed. So now, real, meaningful rewards are coming your way. Things that might not even make complete sense based on your current circumstances. These aren't just random rewards for good behavior. They're a natural result of your consistent character and effort. There are opportunities coming that no amount of planning could have created on their own. Growth that goes beyond what your resume or experience alone could explain. Good fortune that will genuinely surprise the people who once doubted or limited you. Because what's coming isn't just about luck, it's about the result of real, consistent effort paying off. You're moving from being overlooked to becoming undeniable, not for the sake of pride, but because your hard work deserves recognition. So, when people ask how this happened for you, your answer will simply be persistence and hard work. When they say they didn't see it coming, you'll smile, because you know exactly how much effort went into this moment. This isn't just coincidence. This is confirmation that your effort mattered. This isn't luck. This is something you truly earned. And it will be clear enough that even people who doubted you will have to acknowledge your growth. So lift your head up, Don't just expect things to stay the same. Expect real, positive change. Expect surprising opportunities. Expect meaningful breakthroughs. Good things are already on their way, and they reflect everything you've worked hard for. You've made it through hardship, through silence, through uncertainty. And now it's time to step fully into everything you've worked toward. This moment was always meant for you, my child. So take a deep breath and let it sink in that you are still standing strong. You made it through challenges you once thought might break you, through silence that once felt isolating, through struggles that tested your patience but never fully took away your hope. And now, here you are, standing at the edge of something meaningful, something that's been building for a long time. Don't rush past this moment. This is an important moment, and it was never meant for anyone else but you. You've been preparing quietly for a moment that's now ready to be shared with others. You've grown through challenges so you could speak with confidence and clarity. You've been shaped through experience, supported through difficulty, and encouraged along the way. And now, new opportunities are opening up. Obstacles that once seemed impossible to overcome are finally clearing. And I want to encourage you now, step forward with confidence, without hesitation, and without fear. This is your moment, not because of everything you've done perfectly, but because of who you've become through the process. Precious child, this ministry exists to bring encouragement, prayer, and God's truth to every heart that needs it. You can stand with us through PayPal links in the description and pinned comment. May God bless you abundantly for your love and support. Dear child, you are not stepping into this opportunity as the same person you were before. You are stepping in as someone who has been strengthened by real challenges and shaped by meaningful growth. Everything is shifting now, and it's not just about achieving success. It's about truly becoming who you were meant to be. You are entering a season where everything you've worked on internally will finally be visible to others. What you've hoped for quietly will start to show up in real, tangible ways. What once felt like just a dream will now become something real and achievable. This isn't just your reward, it's your reveal, the unveiling of everything you've worked hard to build. You are no longer someone who is simply waiting. You are someone who is stepping confidently into fulfillment. So don't hold back. Don't question whether you're ready. You became ready through every challenge you faced. You became ready through quiet moments of growth that no one else witnessed. And now, it's time to fully embrace this new chapter with confidence, because you've truly earned it. You've shouted out in faith. Now it's time to sit quietly, because that's where faith really grows strong. This is a shift from talking to listening, from expressing to understanding. What comes next isn't about being loud, it's about being present. Be still now, my child, because I am right here with you. I understand that you feel the constant pressure of everyday responsibilities, the noise that pulls your attention in every direction. Take a pause right now. Set aside the noise of the outside world and intentionally create space for quiet reflection. This message you're reading, these words you're taking in, consider them a private and meaningful reminder just for you. You've been working hard, trying to prove your worth to people who may not even fully notice your effort. But the noise from the crowd cannot understand the quiet truth being shared here. Because this truth isn't for everyone, it's personal to you. I want you to step away from public expectations, away from pressure you never asked for, and into a space of genuine peace and reflection. Settle your mind. Whatever challenge you recently overcame isn't something you need to prove to anyone else. It's a personal victory, one that matters deeply, even if only you fully understand what it took to get through it. I see the tiredness you sometimes notice in your own reflection. I know you worry about pressure at work, unspoken tension within your family, and that lingering feeling of being overlooked by people whose approval matters to you. I want you to notice that tight, anxious feeling in your stomach. That heavy worry about tomorrow. It doesn't need to control you. I encourage you to loosen your grip on that stress and let some of that pressure ease. Your heart is probably asking questions that feel difficult to answer. Did I really get through that? Was it truly enough? Will that fear come back again? I want you to know that every doubt you carry, every fragile hope you're holding on to, is completely understood, even before you say it out loud. I've seen you struggle quietly with discouragement. I remember the moments you felt like giving up, believing you had nothing left. But you kept going, even when it felt impossible. I don't want you to downplay how much you've overcome recently. Step back from worrying about how others perceive your progress, and instead, focus on recognizing your own growth. I want you to understand clearly, you made it through. This is something worth acknowledging fully. A real reminder that breaks the grip of self-doubt that may have been holding you back. You were tested through difficulty, not to see if you'd fail, but to help refine your patience, resilience, and inner strength. Take courage in that, your quiet determination, your choice to keep going even when everything in you wanted to give up, deserves genuine recognition, even if it goes unnoticed by others. I don't want you to rush back into everyday life without first appreciating the significance of this personal moment. Stop striving so hard for a moment and rest in the simple truth that you are seen, you are understood, and your progress is real and lasting. This is a moment of renewal, a personal reminder that you don't need constant validation from others to know your own worth. Embrace this truth and let it shift how you see yourself moving forward. I've chosen this quiet, personal moment to speak with you because I want you to know that you genuinely matter. This peaceful space is like a personal reset, my child. Away from the pressures of everyday life and the constant rush of responsibilities. This is a space where deeper truths can be shared, ones that are meaningful and personal to you. Open your mind to a deeper understanding, one that can finally quiet the negative thoughts from past struggles. Trust that this moment of reflection is exactly what your mind and heart have been needing, a chance to let go of built-up stress and worry. I'm speaking directly to the strong, capable person you truly are, someone who simply needed a reminder of their own resilience to keep moving forward. Receive this moment as an important reminder in your life, because understanding this truth can genuinely change how you see your future and help you build a stronger, more confident mindset. Take a moment now, breathe, and simply allow yourself to feel appreciated and understood. I know you're tired, my child, replaying the memory of the challenge you just overcame. But let me share this important truth with you. Whatever test you faced was never a surprise. Nothing happens without purpose, even when it's hard to understand in the moment. Your quiet determination, that small flicker of hope you protected, even during difficult times, was exactly what helped guide you through uncertainty. That quiet strength was the support that kept you going, even when everything around you felt discouraging. I want you to hear this clearly now. You made it through. This isn't just a passing comment. It's a meaningful truth about your resilience and inner strength. I'm reminding you of this not as a temporary compliment, but as something that reflects real, lasting personal growth. This progress isn't just relief. It's proof of the strength that has been building inside you through every challenge you've faced. Stop looking to other people's opinions to measure your own worth. They may not fully understand the internal battles you've faced. Your true value isn't determined by how others perceive you. It's something you carry within yourself, something real and lasting. I recognize the quiet challenges you faced, the internal struggles against fear and uncertainty that no one else fully understood. That entire experience happened mostly in private, during quiet moments, when you may have felt completely alone. And because your effort and persistence happened quietly, the peace and reward you experience from it will also be deeply personal. Something that people who doubted you may never fully understand or recognize. I want you to think about the pressure you've been carrying, the weight of trying to appear strong for everyone else, even during moments you felt overwhelmed. Let go of some of that pressure. I want to help replace that heaviness with a sense of calm that settles deep within you. A reassurance that your own understanding of your effort is enough. Embrace this new mindset. You're no longer trying to prove something. You're simply living with confidence in what you've already accomplished. Take a deep breath and let a sense of quiet confidence replace any lingering doubt. You made it through something difficult because you had genuine inner strength supporting you the entire way. Be confident in the strength you found, even during your weakest moments. I understand you may worry that the memory of that struggle feels too strong, or that maybe it wasn't difficult enough to matter. I don't want that kind of thinking to take away from your real progress. Whatever challenge you faced was significant enough to require real effort and resilience, and your success reflects genuine personal growth. Stand firmly in this understanding. You are stronger now, wiser now, and more self-aware than before. I encourage you to stop replaying painful moments with regret, and instead focus on the new opportunities ahead. Feel a sense of reassurance and support surrounding you, something steady and dependable. Move forward from this moment with quiet confidence, knowing that you are capable, resilient, and fully deserving of the progress you've made. This personal victory can be the foundation for the next chapter of your life. Carry it with you, and don't forget how far you've come. I understand what you might be thinking, my child. Why did that specific challenge have to be so difficult? Why did the waiting feel so long? The loneliness so overwhelming? Let me offer some clarity to the questions that may still linger quietly in your mind. Every challenge, every difficult moment, and every instance of uncertainty you experienced was allowed for a reason, even if that reason wasn't immediately clear. Difficult experiences aren't meant to break you, they're meant to help you grow. The goal was always growth, not harm, strength, not defeat. I want you to let go of the idea that you were being punished. You were being prepared. You were tested through difficulty to prove the strength and consistency of your character, not just to others, but to yourself as well. My child, if these messages have brought peace to your heart, strengthened your faith, or reminded you of God's love, please consider supporting this ministry through PayPal links below. Together, we can continue sharing hope and God's Word with countless souls around the world. Remember this important truth. Negative influences often try to create fear and steal your peace, using the things you care about most, family, finances, or health, as sources of worry. But what happened? Your quiet persistence and steady belief in something meaningful helped you stay grounded. That inner strength acted like a shield, protecting you from being overwhelmed by fear. Think back to those difficult mornings when you pushed yourself to keep going despite feeling exhausted. Did that strength come purely from your own willpower? Not entirely. A lot of that resilience came from something deeper within you, an inner strength that continued to support you even when you felt like giving up. I don't want you to misunderstand what passing this test really means. It's not about being perfect. It's about your consistent effort and determination through difficult circumstances. I encourage you to embrace this important truth. You found strength especially in moments when you recognized your own limitations and reached out for support. That's the essence of true resilience. Successfully making it through this challenge has given you a kind of wisdom that can't be taught through books or classes alone. Recognize that gift. You now have real, lived experience that will serve as a solid foundation for whatever comes next. Stop feeling guilty about moments of weakness during your struggle. Instead, feel genuine gratitude for the inner strength that carried you through to the other side. I encourage you to build a new, unwavering principle in your life. Your sense of self-worth should be based on consistent personal growth, not on temporary achievements or how others perceive you. Focus on what truly matters: long-term growth and self-understanding, rather than shifting standards set by others. Your experience proved that you have enough strength within you, enough to keep going, enough to grow, and enough to move forward confidently. Let this understanding settle deeply within you. Stand firm. The past doesn't define your future. Your progress is real and lasting. Come closer now, my child, as we move into a more personal and reflective part of this conversation, a quiet reflection on your journey so far. There are meaningful lessons from your past struggles and the important steps of your progress that are especially personal and meant just for your own understanding. These are the personal insights of your journey, the quiet, behind-the-scenes moments that even close friends or family might not fully understand. I promise you this: in time, a deeper understanding of the challenges you faced will become clearer. The true purpose behind painful moments will eventually make more sense, turning confusion into real clarity. This kind of reflection is deeply personal, my child, specifically meant to meet your current need for encouragement and strength. It's not something meant to be debated publicly. It's meant purely for your own personal growth and reflection. I encourage you to revisit whatever gave you strength and comfort during your difficult season. Whether that was a specific thought, quote, or piece of encouragement that kept repeating in your mind during quiet, uncertain moments. Reflect on its deeper meaning now. That specific source of encouragement served as a guide, helping you navigate through uncertainty when things felt unclear. Do you remember that sense of comfort it brought? That was genuine support, guiding you through difficult times. Your entire journey is, in many ways, a meaningful and important story that continues to unfold. Every chapter, even the difficult ones marked by challenges and setbacks, plays an important role in your overall growth and progress. I encourage you now to reflect on the quiet moments of support that helped you keep going, even when you felt like you had nothing left to give. Think about unexpected moments of help, an encouraging conversation, an unplanned opportunity, or a brief moment of peace that helped steady you when things felt overwhelming. These moments of support were meaningful, even if they weren't always obvious at the time, and they were perfectly timed to help you keep moving forward. These moments weren't just coincidences. They were meaningful support along your journey. I want you to hold on to this personal reflection carefully. This deeper understanding brings genuine comfort, but also encourages a sense of responsibility. Use this understanding as a quiet, personal reminder of your own worth and growth. Avoid using it to compare your journey to someone else's. Everyone's journey is personal and unique. Focus fully on embracing the meaningful lessons from your own experience. Rest in the confidence that your journey matters, that your story is understood, and that everything you've been through is contributing to your long-term growth and well-being. Carry this understanding with you as you move forward, and let it prepare you for the responsibility and growth that lies ahead. I want to speak honestly with you now, my child, because I want to protect the progress you've worked so hard to achieve. It's important to stay grounded and avoid letting pride take away from the genuine growth you've experienced. Be mindful of the temptation to boast about your resilience or personal strength alone. It's important to remember that any progress you've made didn't happen entirely on your own. Real growth often comes through support, encouragement, and connection with others, not just individual effort alone. I want you to remember an important principle. Genuine progress is best reflected through humility and kindness toward others, not through boastful words or comparison. I encourage you to avoid placing yourself above others who might still be struggling through similar challenges. Instead, let your personal growth show through consistent, positive actions, patience, kindness, and understanding toward others, rather than simply talking about your progress. This understanding I'm sharing is meant to encourage deeper self-reflection and personal growth, not as a way to judge or compare yourself to others' journeys. I want to gently remind you to avoid looking down on people who may be struggling or finding things more difficult right now. Everyone's journey looks different, and real strength often comes from humility and genuine care for others, not from feeling superior. I encourage you to embrace a mindset of gratitude and continued personal growth. Avoid letting genuine confidence turn into unnecessary pride. Stay grounded in the understanding that every positive moment, every bit of progress, and every sense of peace is something to be genuinely thankful for. Let your success become the foundation for a life centered around helping and supporting others, always staying connected to the values that helped you grow in the first place. Be mindful of anything that might lead to unnecessary pride. This journey wasn't just about personal achievement, it was about becoming someone capable of positively impacting others. Walk forward with quiet confidence and genuine gratitude for everything you've learned along the way. My dear child, look at how far you have really come. You started this journey tired, unsure, sometimes even ready to give up. But you kept showing up anyway, one small step at a time, one quiet act of patience after another. Nothing about your growth was wasted. Every hard season had a reason. Every quiet moment of waiting was building something in you that could not have been built any other way. You are not who you used to be. You carry more wisdom now. You carry more peace. You carry a kind of steady strength that only comes from actually going through something difficult and making it to the other side. And now, as we close this message together, I want you to remember one simple thing above everything else. You are not alone, and you never were. Every hard day, every quiet night, every moment of doubt, all of it was seen, and all of it mattered. So take this with you as you move forward. Whatever you are carrying right now, whatever season you're walking through, you are exactly where you need to be, and you have exactly what it takes to keep going. Be gentle with yourself. Be proud of how far you have come, and keep walking forward with a quiet, steady confidence, because the best part of your story is still being written. Thank you for being here, for staying till the end, and for allowing yourself this moment of peace and reflection. If this message meant something to you, share it with someone who might need it too. And stay close for the next one, because there is always more encouragement waiting for you.